Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for another Wow Me Wednesday. I am delivering a workshop at our local junior college, Modesto Junior College. Shout out to MJC on Monday, this coming Monday, March 12th in the evening. Sorry, a little shameless plug there. And as I'm preparing for my workshop, I thought, let me share with you some of the tips and lessons I've learned when it comes to crafting and developing my workshop content and structure, as well as how to deliver an engaging and fun workshop that your students are going to rave about. And I've taken tips and suggestions from my students. I evaluate them or give them an evaluation so that I can learn from them and improve. And so this is also tips from them. So tip number one when it comes to developing a workshop is to think about your class size. Try to keep the number of students under 20. My favorite size is about 5 or 6 people. That's typically the amount of people that I have for this workshop at Modesto Junior College that I've done a few times. I like that size, 5 to 6 people, because it allows the students to feel comfortable in what can be in an intimidating situation, especially when it comes to public speaking. My workshop being on public and on-camera speaking, people come already on edge because they're afraid of being put on the spot and having to stand up in front of an audience to speak. But knowing that it's only 5 people, then it gives them that, makes them feel more at ease. The small amount also allows a free-flowing discussion. So that's what I allow. I keep it very casual. It's not just me talking at them, but it's a discussion so that each of the classmates can share some information, offer some advice to other students, and can ask questions of me and each other openly. So again, try to keep that workshop size to under 20 students. Tip number 2 is the word workshop. So it's called workshop because you are working in a shop-like manner or atmosphere. So it's not a lecture, you're not talking at them, but you're allowing them to learn what you have to offer and then put it to work. So what I do is a little bit of a mix. I give them a presentation, including slides, but I offer an open, free-flowing conversation, discussion, as I mentioned, including video examples and also exercises towards the end. My workshop is usually 3 hours long. And so in the beginning, I'll share some information and advice, some tips that they can use, and then the last half is actual workshop where they're put to work. Tip number 3 is list the skills you'd like the students to learn by the end of your workshop. And think about your content. Are you fulfilling what you promised the students? And if you are, then include that in the description for your workshop. So here I have the little Modesto Junior College catalog here. And in my description, I talk about using this to feel comfortable delivering presentations, cutting down your ums, likes, and you knows, boiling down your elevator pitch, engaging your audience from the beginning to the end of the presentation, refining your speaking skills. So yes, I believe, based on what I have to teach, that I do follow through with that list, that promise that I'm giving students. So that list can, again, lead to the description to tease your potential students to sign up for your class. Tip number 4 is to use examples. Just like you would in a presentation, use examples to illustrate to your students what you mean when it comes to your teachings. For example, in my workshop, I talk about the importance of storytelling. So I include examples from TED Talks as well as from Toastmasters championships to illustrate to them some great examples and maybe some not so great examples of storytelling, right? I also give examples from my own experience, especially as a rookie reporter, of where I've messed up and learned from my mistakes. So giving examples is really important for your students to understand on a deeper level what your lessons mean. Tip number 5 is to use tools in the workshop. Again, it's a workshop-like atmosphere. So Post-it notes, Sharpies, handouts, cheat sheets, whatever it is to allow them to be creative. And your students are going to be learning in different ways. Some are auditory, some are tactile, some are visual. So if they are tactile and they like to use Post-its for different topics and different ideas, allow them or give them those tools to use. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm going to try that for this Monday. So I'm excited to see how many people use those and are able to craft and create their content that way and change around the order easily using Post-its. And tip number 6, the final tip for this topic, is working in small groups or one-on-one. And this by far is the tip, not the tip, but the suggestion, the feedback that I get from students most often is that they love the one-on-one time and want even more one-on-one time. So as I mentioned, the first half of the workshop is me giving my tips about creating a stellar presentation, as well as video examples and discussion with the class. But the last half is one-on-one time. I give an exercise to the students about working on an upcoming presentation or thinking about an accomplishment that they're proud of or a pitch that they commonly do about their business or the company they work for. And they work on it alone for some time. And then I go around working with each person on their individual presentation or pitch in order to actually dive deeper into their particular needs and wants out of the presentations. And as I said, by far, this is what they say is the most valuable to them. So when I've worked with a larger group, I've done a workshop with 20 to 25 people as well. So I don't have enough time to give one-on-one attention, but I broke them into small groups. So this particular presentation was for city employees who deal with the media a lot of times or give presentations. So I split the group in half. Half of the group did an exercise that was on delivering a presentation that they have coming up or that they could refine that they've done before. The other half of the class worked on a prompt that I gave them for a media interview. So I split them in half, then they switched about half an hour through. But then that way I could work with each of the groups, even practice with them on camera. I always talk about recording them on camera so that they can see and listen to themselves. So same thing when it comes to workshops. If you have time, try to get them on camera so that they can see and witness themselves in action. And if there's time, I like to allow the students to deliver their refined presentation after working with me one-on-one in front of the class so they can feel what it's like to actually deliver it in front of a live audience. So I hope that was helpful for you guys tonight. If you are interested in learning more about my workshop and joining me on Monday at Modesto Junior College, I will leave the link for you in my Facebook post along with this video. And if you would like to get more tips from me, get my top videos emailed to you every month, please go to my website, jessicachangconsulting.com, and leave me your email address so I can keep in touch with you and send you cool tips and freebies right into your inbox. If you're also interested, and this is something I'm thinking about, providing this workshop virtually. If you can't make it on Monday, if you're not near the Modesto area, that's okay. But I want to be able to provide this to anybody living anywhere. So I'd like to find out, are you interested in doing a workshop with me or a presentation or webinar with me, doing this virtually so I can share these tips in more depth with you in the comfort of your own home? So please let me know in the comments below or feel free to email me at jessicachangconsulting.com. Thanks everyone. I'll see you next Wednesday.